Everybody, I'm Father Kerry. I'm a priest in a national church that barely 2 weeks after the inauguration declared itself a sanctuary community for people who are threatened with deportation because we saw what was coming down the pike, and as I know all of you do as well. I saw a wonderful movie a couple of weeks ago, A Complete Unknown, about Bob Dylan. There's a scene in that movie that I can't get out of my head. The character playing Dylan is expressing frustration at what he takes to be the musical industry stymieing his imagination and his creativity. And he's complaining to the actor who plays Johnny Cash, a good friend of his. And Cash listens to him for a while, and then he turns to him and he says, BD, track mud on the carpet. Make some noise. I think that's wonderful advice. It's wonderful advice for the entire country. But as a priest, I want to say it is imperative advice for my fellow Christians. We need to track mud on the carpet, of the pristine, otherworldly carpet of those Christians who think that protesting injustice in this country is somehow inappropriate for religious people. Moreover, we need to make noise by calling out those MAGAists who confuse their zealotry when it comes to what's going on right now with Christianity. This is a job, it seems to me, for everyone, regardless of what their faith tradition or no faith tradition might be, but it is especially an obligation, I want to suggest to you, for Christians. We need to try and clean up our house, which has become pretty damn sullied of late. You may not believe me, but there is a long 21st century tradition of Christians fighting for justice against authoritarianism. It's a rich tradition that goes all the way back to the prophets, is exemplified by Jesus. It is rich and complicated, but in the brief time that I have, I want to share just 3 points, 3 pillars of Christian justice. The first, the conviction that all human beings have inherent dignity. Because we are made in the likeness and the image of God. And because of that, we share to some extent God-like qualities. We are able to reason. We're able to love. We're able to feel compassion and to forgive. We owe every single person we meet respect for the dignity that she or he carries. C.S. Lewis once said, and I think he is absolutely right about this, we have never met an ordinary person. Everyone we meet is extraordinary because everyone has dignity. That's the first pillar. Second pillar, solidarity. Because we are all children of one God, regardless of how one envisions that God, we are siblings. We are sisters and brothers. When something bad happens to one of us, all of us are affected. When something good happens to all of us, to one of us, all of us are affected. We are sisters and brothers, and we need to stand together against injustice. That's the second pillar. And the third pillar is something that my tradition calls the preferential option for the poor. Some of our sisters, some of our brothers are disadvantaged. And we know lately that more and more of those sisters and brothers are being disadvantaged by the political regime that is now in place. It is our obligation to defend them, to resist what's happening to them, to stand shoulder and shoulder with them, and not for us Christians as a political move, but as a scriptural move, as a religious move, as a move that is loyal to the tradition in which we find ourselves. You know who tracked mud on the carpet and who made some noise? Jesus. In my own lifetime, there have been prophets who I'm so proud to know of, who have done likewise. I think of Dorothy Day, who founded the Catholic Worker Movement. I think of the Berrigan brothers, Dan and Phil, who opposed the unjust conflict in Vietnam. I think of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and William Barber today, who fight against ethnic discrimination and economic poverty. Speaking of farmers, I think of Cesar Chavez, who showed us all how farm labor should be treated with respect and veneration. These are names we all know, but all of us are called to be prophets. So, my friends, let me just conclude by begging you, track some mud on the carpet and make some noise.
Keep it going.